Hey guys, this is going to be an introduction video for the first time ever. We're going to have a whole playlist of these, so be prepared to watch like 50 of them because there's like 50 of us now. So we're going to start with me. My name is Peter. I am the host of the system. I have been around since early childhood, and I believe myself to be the original, but we don't know if that's the case, so we're not going to confirm or deny it. Um, I do a lot of stuff. I do D&D. I play D&D quite a bit whenever I can. I find it really fun. Um, I only know English. I am an American, and let's see, I know a little bit of other languages like French and Japanese and stuff, but not enough to actually speak it. I know a tiny bit of ASL, but not enough to fluently speak it. Um, some of our alters are very different from me, and it can confuse people, so that's why we're here to explain things and to have fun with it. I'm sorry if the video quality is not great, by the way, because the only thing I have for lighting is this ring light and a lamp behind me, and I have like all kinds of art and decor going on in the background. Um, but you know, the quality of my video camera is not wonderful, so it's not going to be all that grand. Hopefully we will upgrade to a better camera in the future, and we'll be able to sort all that out later. But for now, this is what we got. Um, so another interesting fact about me is I am an artist. I made this one, that, those, that back there, and this big, gigantic painting of an alien thingy, a UFO that I decided to make one day. I own this, which is it's a coffin. It's a little tent, and it's just a thing that I have. So, I have weird stuff like that. Um, let's see. This is interesting about me. There's not a lot of interesting things about me. I'm not good at talking about myself. Um, I'm learning contortionism, so I may make some videos over that. I really like music. Music is great. I have a violin that I have no idea how to play. So if any of you are good at playing the violin and can give me tips, that would be absolutely grand. I would be very appreciative. I mostly sing, though. So I do sing. I used to sing in choir. Good lord, my lips are chapped. Sorry. I'm a little ADD. Some facts about our system are we were officially diagnosed with DID just last year over the summer when we went to a hospital for a little while. We've been there 4 times total. It's been a rough couple years, but we're back in the game and we are going strong now. But we were officially diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, DID, as I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably know what that means, and you probably have seen other YouTubers talk about it. But if you are by some crazy wild chance new to the idea and have no idea what I'm talking about, dissociative identity disorder is basically, it used to be called multiple personality disorder. So what it is when in early childhood something traumatic happens or ongoing trauma happens of some variety or another. It can be anything from like a car crash to a family member dying to anything like that, as long as it's at a young age. And at that young and impressionable age, your personality is supposed to start merging into one coherent person. But when that trauma happens, you your personality can't merge like it's supposed to, so it splits off. and it stays separate, and it just fragments into all these other little personalities. So, for example, a normal person might go through life, there's no trauma, there's nothing crazy happens, they just live a totally normal, totally fine life, and nothing weird happens to them. And their personality forms normally, and they're a singular person. So they go about life like any other singular person would. But say that same person is roughly 4 to 8 years old, somewhere in there, something bad happens, something traumatic happens, and this person's personality splits off because the person's consciousness can't handle what happened, so it recedes back into the back of the mind and goes into the subconscious, and something else, another part of the personality, comes forward into the conscious mind. So this part of the personality and this part of the personality become separated, creating two alternate personalities, alters, parts, whatever you call it. The technical terms would be parts or alters. I've seen them called many things, but those are the most used terms in current psychological, psychobabble. In common psychobabble, those are the two main, in common conversation, there we go. In common conversation about the disorder these days, those are the two most common terms. So that's how DID works. So what happened with us is that happened, and it just kept happening, and now even the slightest amount of stress can cause another split in the personality, creating a whole new person. So say I get into a very stressful situation, like I lose my job, or I get kicked out, or I get into a car accident, or something like that. Another personality would likely split off from me, causing me to not remember the incident, and that one person to remember the incident, because of amnesia barriers. This was supposed to be an introduction video. I'm trailing off, but that's fine. So we're just going to do an intro to DID. Intro to me and an intro to DID. That'll be the name of this episode, I guess. Episode. Sounds like a TV show. Sorry. Sorry, dissociated for a second there. I think somebody else is trying to front. So what that feels like is, and I'm not going to go into that. We'll have a separate video about what switching feels like and what it feels like when someone else is trying to switch out. So you may have noticed some things have changed about the channel. Firstly, there are more of us. Secondly, we plan on leaving up the initial introduction video, but we may change our minds about that, but we'll see. We'll just leave that as it is for now. But anyway, if there's anything else you guys would like to know about us or about me specifically, just leave it in the comments and we will address it in a future video. We can do crafting videos and stuff like that with me if you would like, so you can see sort of my artistic side. We will probably copy some of Dissociated and Acrylic and Ether and Multiplicity and Me's ideas, just because we look up to them as fellow YouTubers, and we look up to them as icons in the DID community, so we may copy some of their ideas just to, because we find it interesting, and we might, like the Alters Draw Themselves video, we've actually thought about doing that, because we find it interesting and we would like to see how we would do the same thing. But anyways, that's enough for this video. I rambled a lot, and I'm sorry. I'm getting back into the swing of it. Eventually, I will be able to make these more structured. Some of the others might be a little less structured or a little more structured than I am. They might be a little more or less erratic. We'll see. But that's it for this video. So feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out our other videos, and check out the videos on the Multiplicity and Us playlist, because all of those YouTubers are also very interesting and very good at what they do, and they have good information to share. So without further ado, adios, amigos.